The Grand Conclave of the Vorkai Dominion had not known silence like this in 3,000 years. Elder Zorath, a creature of silver chitin and 6 amber eyes, pressed all 4 of his hands flat against the obsidian table. Around him sat the representatives of 47 civilizations, beings of gas, crystal, flesh, and light, all staring at the same emergency broadcast pulsing on the central display. A fleet. Massive. Unannounced. Moving through the outer veil at impossible speed. The configuration matches no known empire, said Commander Vel, the Dominion's top strategist, his bioluminescent crest flickering with anxiety. But the energy signature. He paused, running the analysis again. It matches old myth archives. Pre-collapse records. Impossible, Zorath whispered. Vel's crest dimmed. The signal frequency matches the dormant beacon of a civilization we catalogued as extinct 4 centuries ago. The chamber fell to absolute silence. Then the word moved through the room like a tremor through bedrock. Humans. Every civilization in the known galaxy had a version of the human story. The Vorkai called them Veldara, the ones who would not lie down. The Prothean collective referred to them as the burning apes, spoken always with a complicated reverence. Ancient asteroid temples carved by the long-dead Servaki bore crude wall engravings of bipedal figures standing over obliterated warships. The legend was always the same. A small, fragile species from a single unremarkable world that had absorbed every catastrophe the universe threw at them, plagues, ice ages, asteroid impacts, wars that should have erased them a dozen times, and somehow, impossibly, kept going. Then, 400 years ago, they vanished. Some said they destroyed themselves. Others claimed they ascended. The most extreme theory, whispered in dark corners of space stations, was that they left. Intentionally, quietly, to grow somewhere no one could find them. Now the scanners didn't lie. 2017 vessels. Each one a city. Each one radiating a power output that dwarfed the Dominion's entire defense fleet. They were back. Ambassador Lyra Donovan floated the UES Resolute to the edge of the Vorkai border with 0 weapons hot. She was 43 years old, born in Denver, Colorado, with copper-brown hair and the kind of calm that came from years of training and a lifetime of knowing exactly what humanity had survived to get here. The message came through on a shaking frequency. Elder Zoratha's translated voice crackled over the bridge speakers. Identify yourselves. Your configuration matches. A civilization believed to be extinct. Lyra smiled. Ambassador Lyra Donovan, United Earth Stellar Command. Humanity, in the flesh. She let that sit for exactly 3 seconds. We've been away. We're back now. We'd like to talk. There was a pause so long the bridge crew began exchanging nervous glances. Then, how many of you are there now? Lyra pulled up the census figure on her wrist display. 40 billion humans, spread across 31 star systems, with a fleet that had taken 4 centuries of quiet, furious building to assemble. Enough, she said. The meeting that followed lasted 6 days. What the Vorkai and their allied civilizations learned changed everything they thought they understood about power in the galaxy. Humans had not fled in the collapse. They had retreated deliberately, pulling back from known space after a brutal war with a now extinct predator species called the Draith. Beaten, wounded, reduced to fewer than 2 billion survivors on a handful of colony ships, they had done what humans had always done throughout their entire biological history. They adapted. They rebuilt. They remembered. General Marcus Webb, head of Stellar Command, laid out the new doctrine plainly to the Council on the 3rd day of talks. He was a tall man from Atlanta, Georgia, with gray at his temples and a voice built for large rooms. We are not here to conquer, he said. We are not here to threaten. But understand this clearly, we are not the species you erased from your history books. He looked at each ambassador in turn. Whatever threat you face out there, you call us first. Whatever war is coming, and your border data suggests one is, you do not face it alone. The chamber was absolutely still. Elder Zorath studied the human general for a long moment. Then slowly, deliberately, he pressed all four hands to the table in the ancient Vorkite gesture of alliance. The legends, Zorath said quietly, did not do you justice. That night, aboard the Resolute, Lyra Donovan stood at the observation deck and watched the alien stars. 400 years of silence. 400 years of a species healing, growing, becoming something the universe had never quite seen before, not because humans were the strongest, or the fastest, or the most brilliant species ever born. But because they were the ones who never, ever stopped. Somewhere out in the dark, the Dratha's successors were already moving. New predators. New wars. New catastrophes lining up on the event horizon of history. Lyra pressed her hand against the cold glass and smiled. Let them come. Humanity had been to the edge of extinction and turned it into a starting line. They were ready.